Derek McVey in the house. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Mate, doing my research on you, the trend is that you love taking on challenges when it comes to footy teams.
Yeah, I do. I guess my philosophy on footy is youth. So most places I've gone have been financially challenged. That's given me it's made me almost go looking for young players, and we've uncovered some gems over the years. So both here in Sydney and so it's been good, yeah.
Is it like a case of you don't know any better? You to the point where you love taking a club or a side that's the battlers, the underdogs, and taking them somewhere?
Yeah, I guess. When I came back from England, I was playing at Cessnock as a player, and I was acutely aware of their junior team at the time. And a good friend of mine was player coach, and it was something I always wanted to do as captain coach. And at the end of that season in '98, he said, what are you doing next year? And I said, look, I'm not getting a younger captain coach. It's something I want to do. And he said, I'm going to stay at Cessnock. And I went, mate, that's fine, but I'll be moving on. So I sort of put my resume out to a few places, and then it was a bit of a story. He got a better offer. He's a really good friend of mine. I played with him at the Tigers, Paul Upfield. Yep. Very good coach, all that stuff. So then Cessnock invited me in for a chat, which I did, and they also spoke with Steve Crow, and they appointed him. And the reason they gave me was because I didn't have the connections at the Knights to bring players. And I just said, look, that's fine. So I just went back to those original things. And funny enough, one of the clubs was Curry, and there was also a club out of Newcastle.
Just staying, I mean, we're going to talk about the Knights a little bit later, but while we touch on that, I mean, there's a lot of talk, obviously, Dylan Brown, 10-year contract. We've got a centre of excellence. Are we doing enough to retain good players? Because, again, you've been at the coalface at the local level. Is the Knights doing enough?
Look, I have a different philosophy to most. There's no question about that. I like the Penrith approach, and I've had that philosophy for a long time. They're junior coaches, and I talk about the 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s who are in the Knight system. They're trying to win enough games to be reappointed. That really bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not we're going to – like, to me, if you're coaching the Knights, Harold Matthews or Jersey Flag or SG Ball or even Flag, so 17s, 19s, 21s, you should be judged on how many players graduate to NRL. But that's not how it's done here. They don't pay they pay minimum. Yeah, to me, your under 17 or 9 coaches should almost be to me, they should be full-time. And they're 3-year contract, and then at the end of 3 years, they should say, okay, who graduated? Where are we at? Are you developing these kids to be our next NRL players? Whereas that's not the case.
I suppose that's that fine line, isn't it? Because, again, you want to keep coaching and results-driven sport, but at that level, it's not really about that.
And at Penrith, if you listen to their philosophies, they don't care. Now, if they just happen to win, fantastic. But I know when we coached, a good friend of mine, we coached West SG Ball, and we went, and I had a mate of mine, he was more dedicated than me. I mean, I like watching junior footy, but he was next level. We found James Tedesco playing at Picton. We found David Nuffelumba playing 4th division at Campbelltown. So what we did is we went and watched countless junior games and invited them. And we had 70 players, and we had our own trials against – we'd seen these kids, we'd get dossiers on them. And that year, out of that side, 7 guys went on to play NRL. We didn't win it. We didn't win the – to our peril, we were sacked that year. We were minor premiers. We got beat by 2 in the final against the Roosters, who were stacked. They brought a heap of blokes back from their senior grades, which didn't bother me. Yeah. 7 boys. At one stage there, Tedesco was the Australian captain and the Wallaby captain, Sheldon was the Wallaby captain.
Yeah.
Who both played in that side. And the big boy we're talking about, he came to us and he trained his heart out. We actually took him at the end of our season, which was like March, whenever the juniors finished, 8-game season, and took him to Sydney Uni. Said, here, this kid's a rugby player. He can play for Australia. He's beautiful hands, tough, tall.
Yeah.
Ended up covering the Wallabies. So we were always player first. At the end of the season, we were dragged in and sacked because we didn't win it.
What do they tell you when they drag you in? They just results?
Didn't win it.
But did you say, but look at the players we're developing?
Well, the record was there. And the sad part about it was we were West. It was Western Suburbs. It wasn't West Tigers. And we had Paul Quigg, who was a West man with bootstraps. Mal, who was a West man, who sponsored West. These were West guys.
Yeah.
Bulldog West, Mick Neal West, all West men. But they got told that the year before the Estuary Ball run, never won a game. A year later, got beat in the final. And they murdered that team, they slaughtered that team. West didn't win another. I don't think everyone won since. I think Balmain have won a couple of juniors, but not West.
In regards to, I suppose, taking on challenges, you went to America, to Florida, Southwest Florida Copperheads. You know, there. What
special day that?
How did that happen? Hey, Decker, we got a gig in America to coach a rugby league team.
Kind of. Taz Batiri was at the NRL then, and we were just at a function one day, and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Would you be interested to go over make it a holiday footy trip?" And I went, "Yeah, okay." I'd been sick. I was on my way out, feeling better. So if you look at the photo, the bloke next to me, never met him. He's an Australian boy, and he got introduced to me by Graham Huddleston and Big Hoogie said, "Oh, this kid will go. He's a good kid." So we went over there, and that photo there is the first win in their history. They'd never won a game the year before.
Oh, wow.
And we went there, and we beat Tampa, who were top seed in our division.
Yep.
And so you can tell by the smiles.
What?
Yeah.
What's the standard in the competition?
Back then it was pretty average, but getting better.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of money in it now. Like we were, I don't know if you can, if you watch those American shows and you see kids down on public basketball courts, that's real. Where we were, that drive along, you'd see 10 blokes just playing basketball. So I'd stop and go in and say, he's won a game of league, first question, how much money? Game was, we were just surviving. Yeah. And then we went, one day I just pulled up at this car, which you needed a golf cart to drive around. It was so big. And I said, "This guy, would you be interested to sponsor a league team?" And he goes, "What's that?" So I showed him a few State of Origin videos, and he went, pulled out his checkbook and wrote a check for $10,000, which was unheard of.
Wow.
Right? So what that did was funded our club.
Yep.
Bought all the jerseys, the socks, shorts, paid the rent on the field. It was they're like, well, how do you know this player? I don't know. It was just insane.
I think we need this guy for our podcast. Yeah. I think he did too.
So he was just become part of it. And
because I mean, rugby league, I mean, with NFL, I mean, rugby league is something that Americans would look at and go, yeah, I think they'd like it more than AFL.
Oh, absolutely. Look, having spent time there, and I was talking with Taz about it, and he said, when you get back, we'll sit down because I have these grand ideas of what could really happen there.
Yeah.
And then the NRL had the shake-up with COVID and he's not there anymore. But what people don't understand is, and again, I didn't really understand until I got there, is American sport is tied to schools. It's like, if I go to Cardiff High, I could play for Lakes, West, South, whoever.
Yep.
Over there, you go to school, that's where you play. So it's really tied to that. So these kids are playing high school football for their local school. Well, then they get to graduate to college, and that's that's the link up the chain. Well, then once they get to college, I think there's 128 colleges that play NFL. So working on average, they'd have squads of somewhere around 80 to 100, I would imagine.
So with an NFL player or a gridiron player, they can adapt well within the game.
Well,
obviously the forwards.
They've got the discipline, right? They're training mantras and they're tough. They need work in other areas. But the thing about it is when these 128 colleges go to draft, about 300 to 400 drafts, there's thousands. There's nowhere for them to go. So it's like if I play for Cardiff and I go okay, I might go and play lower grades at West. And if I'm good enough, I might go up a grade or whatever. But if I'm not good enough, I can play at Cardiff, play A grade at Cardiff. And if I'm not good enough for that, I can play reserve grade at Cardiff. And if I'm not good enough, I can go and play for a B grade side somewhere. There's somewhere for me to play. NFL's not like that.
Yeah.
So there's thousands of these kids over a period of time
getting shelled.
Are walking around built like you wouldn't believe, like physically magnificent species. So I did a little bit of research when I was over there, and if every NRL come in Australia stumped up, let's say 200,000 and said, right, we're going to put you into these franchises, put someone over there with a football brain and understands what you're looking for and say pay them, I don't know, 50, 60,000. If you walked around the street going, mate, 500 a game to play 10 rugby league games, there'd be a line up around the corner. And then it's up to you to teach them. So if you're connected, I mean, Politis is sort of doing it. He's putting a side in California.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do. Like, and then build a connection. Like in Florida, there's 3 NFL sides: Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville.
Yep.
Connect with those. There's you should see the stadiums there. Oh, like you look at the Knight Stadium. There's 10 of them in Florida.
So do you think the Peter Volandi's vision with the first round in America is on the right track, but it should be more concentrated on what you're saying?
Well, again, it's only my opinion. Having been there and seen it, right, and seen how quickly they picked it up. When I first got there, these blokes didn't know how to play the ball. I remember when the first game we played a good side and we were playing, and I thought, right, I'm going to treat them like they're under 7. So I taught them to play the ball, taught them to catch, run, as simple as I could get it. There was a knock on, and I went, I forgot to teach them how to pack a scrum. I had no idea. So I literally walked on the field and went, they stopped the game because they understand that we're learning. Showed them how to pack a scrum.
Yeah.
So this is what's called a scrum, boys. When we drop it, this is what you got to do.
Remember back, was it the 80s, Warren Ryan brought an NFL player out.
He did.
Was it Newtown?
Winifred Mann.
That's right. Let me try and look that up.
I think that's his name. I think so. Or Manfred. Maybe Manfred.
I think it was Manfred.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he told a few lies, that bloke. he didn't quite. He said he played NFL. I don't think he ever did.
Oh, the Wok would have believed him.
Well, it didn't cost him anything.
Did you have much to do with the Wok?
I had a little bit. Yeah, I was lucky enough to spend a bit of time with Wok. Tried to get me to go to West. I haven't got many regrets. That's probably one of them. Should have went.
Yeah,
but I was really happy at the Tigers.
Do you feel like his mantra was tarnished a little bit after that, taking Ciro and Roach off in that grand final? After that?
No, I don't. He was right.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
You go and watch the game.
He would have done it. He probably would have done the same thing if he had his time over.
No walking. That game was lost on a play the ball. And to Bill Harrigan's credit, he put his hand up when Bruce Maguire up and played the ball forward and he penalised Balmain. That was 12-2 when that happened. A set of 6 downfield, chopped it, whereas Canberra got a penalty when they shouldn't have, and the goal game flipped on its head. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to think they just weren't meant to win. Field goal at the post.
Well, I think Benny Elias has actually said that. He goes, well, if it didn't hit the crossbar, if it went this far, a little bit higher, we wouldn't have been talking about it.
But I think the decision was to change the whole game when Bruce Maguire played it forward. Yeah. I wasn't even at the Tigers then.
No.
But that was that. I think that changed the momentum. They would have got a breather. They kicked it out.
Yeah.
Different game.
You're a Cardiff boy, played for the Cardiff Cobras.
Cougars, mate. Juniors are Cougars, seniors are Cobras.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was, they're both Cobras. Cardiff Public School, Cardiff High School.
Yep.
Mate, mate, what back in the day when I was growing up, Cardiff was west. It was out west. You know, they're rough as guts. That sounds like you.
No, not really. Cardiff and West have never been good bedfellows.
No, but I meant sort of like, you know, the way, look at it now, West Wall's End, you got, you know, they keep on building out. But what I'm saying is that back when I was growing up, if you went to Cardiff, it was like, whoa, geez, that was a drive just to get to Cardiff.
Yeah, not many people stuck it to Cardiff. We were pretty tough. Very much a rugby league town, but also a soccer town. A lot of big soccer as well, Cardiff.
Yep, I know a lot of people.
But West were the mortal enemy.
Oh, yeah.
They were our enemy.
Well, just staying with that, I mean, were you around, I think early 80s, Cardiff had a really good team in the second division, 81, 82, 83.
They had amazing teams for a long time.
Yeah. I think they won the premiership 3 years in a row.
They did. I could almost name that side, being a West Cardiff kid. But they also had made a lot of kids from Cardiff that played NRL. Yeah. Lots. You know, Jason Alchin won a premiership with Canterbury. And obviously the Flash, Ashley, was just a genius.
Yeah.
One of the first guys that I remember breaking the glass ceiling was a bloke called Darren Smith, which no one's probably ever heard of on this thing, but he was a Cardiff kid and he got signed with Parramatta and was like, okay,
wow,
you can make it from here. And he had serious knee and shoulder trouble and he never played NRL, but he was the Parramatta. He's on for Parramatta. Wow, you can do that. Yeah. And the Knights didn't exist when he went to Parramatta. Yeah. It was 86, I think he first went there.
Did you have dreams when you were playing for Cardiff?
I just wanted to play on TV. My first thing was to play on a field because we used to watch Channel 10, I think. Footy used to be on 10:30 at night. My grandmother would wake me up, so I'd get up and watch it. And the sign around because Cardiff Oval at them days didn't have signs around it. It just had a fence but no sign. I thought, well, then I played at Arca Oval when I was about 14. I thought, okay, this is not exactly where I want to be. So the next one was I want to play on TV.
It was funny that you just made me think of you played probably one game because you was on the Gold Coast with Ron Gibbs.
Yes.
And I think this is when he was playing for, I might have been Canberra or Manly.
Manly would have been.
And he used to wear the headgear.
Yeah.
And apparently they had a TV game and he put his headgear on, right? His hair was like sprouted out through the holes in his headgear. And he's over at the mirror with a pair of scissors and they go, what are you doing? He goes, he's cutting his hair. He goes, it's a TV game.
Wouldn't surprise me. He went to Cardiff High. Ronnie Gibbs.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, the amount of players that came from Newcastle before the Knights, you know, it would have been a fair, you know, you sort of look at it and go, the Knights have started up maybe 5 years earlier.
Well.
And they nearly did too.
I become friends with Max Fox, Lee Moore, so I got to know them guys. They've been trying to get the Knights into the system for 20 years. They just kept getting pushed back for whatever reason. But, yeah, they were desperate to get them in.
Yeah. Well, Newcastle was a foundation club, you know.
They were.
Back in the day.
Imagine going to Sydney by horse and cart, or train or whatever. I don't know how they got there. Imagine that every second week.
Mate, you're pulling up at every pub when you're on the way back. No random breath test for the horse. Rugby league, it's changed so much rules changes. It must drive you nuts, does it? Especially if you're as a coach, having to keep up with it all.
I think they're trying to make it. I think what happens is people who haven't been involved in the game, that doesn't mean played it, but involved, are trying to make decisions on what they think's going to work. They underestimate the coaches because they sit there and go, right, it's a new rule, let's do this.
Yes.
And then they go, oh, we'll change that rule. And I go, okay, now we'll do this. So their coaches are, you know, people talk about Bellamy. He's sitting there pulling it apart by the frame by frame to work out to get that advantage, and that's why Melbourne have been where they are for a long time. He's not a step ahead, he's 2 steps ahead.
I mean, there's another 4 rule changes in the pipeline, and it's a case of them going to some of these the big name coaches like a Bellamy, like a Bennett, Cleary, and they get them together and say, well, what about this, what about this? Is that fair in regards to, because again, they're looking at it going, well, my team could benefit from that one, we'll take that, but we won't do that one. You can't really do it like that. You've got to just make a rule and stick with it, won't you?
I think rugby league's been around 100 odd years. I think it's still 100 be 60 last time I checked. For me, the biggest rule thing in the game is and I've said this for a long time, it's all about the ruck. What separates rugby league from every other game on the planet is the ruck. No other game has it. Where you get the ball, you get tackled. It's a race to get to your feet. And it's been like that. No other game nor. That's why it's so hard to play, because it's fitness level. If I took you outside and said, lay on your belly and stand up 25 times, you'd be – it's not running backwards and forwards. That's just standing still and doing it. So it's such a fatigue game. The way to slow it down is make them put their foot on it. If you don't touch the ball with your toe, it's turnover. Now, if you had someone in the bunker just watching nothing else, and all he has to do is hit a button, a little whistle goes off, the ref knows. It's not interpretation. It's not close enough. It's not a good attempt. You didn't touch it with your foot. When I played, if you didn't touch it with your foot, it was a penalty.
Yeah.
They go back, that would slow it down. And that's where the games, if you look at everything that Bellamy's ever done, it's designed for one thing, to slow that, play the ball down. So, someone put a thumb in your neck. Now, that's not designed, they're not trying to hurt you, just trying to slow you. So if someone gets your arm and pulls it back, the chicken wing, no one really got hurt. But I tell you what you submit, 3 seconds in rugby league is a lifetime. They're back set, ready to come forward again, whereas you watch it when someone gets up and plays that ball fast, you're just rolling backwards, you're going nowhere. So by making them put their foot on the ball would change it dramatically.
You feel that they're concentrating on areas where there's other little things that they don't worry about, like forward passes, all that sort of stuff. How many forward passes do you see in a season? They're
bad, but what bothers me is the touchy standing there watches it. That's the one that bothers me. Okay, they're going to be forward passes. When the touchy's in line and then just does nothing, it's extraordinary.
Lots of changes due to head clashes as well. How's your noggin?
Fortunately, they didn't start with much, so there wasn't much to lose. Not too bad. Unfortunately, I'm spending a bit of time with a good mate of mine who is struggling with it, and a few other players as well. But it's tragic what I'm watching, but thousands and thousands of blokes play the game.
Yeah.
So until they can – I get a little annoyed when they go rugby league caused that. I'm not sure about that. Did it contribute? Quite possibly. Yeah. I'm not saying it didn't.
Well, I mean, CTE can't be definitive until the person's dead and they cut his brain open.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And this is why they'll always struggle with court cases or court action, because of the fact that they could say, well, Your Honour, this guy could have fell off a horse when he was 6 to do, and also too, I think the big thing here, if you to try to sue the NRL, what's to say these head clashes didn't happen in country rugby league before he got to the NRL?
Where does it end?
But
did it? Was it that? How many people have C2 that never played the game?
Exactly.
So I love the game. It's been very good to me. And I have great sympathy. And should these guys get support? The answer is yes, they should. But are we going to bankrupt the game? And let's face it, statistically, the amount of people who play compared to the amount of people who got it. Now, people are going to say, he doesn't care because he hasn't got it. Maybe. I'm not saying what I'm saying is 100% right, but for me, would I change it? I got the bumps and the bruises and the scars, but it's my life. It was great. Rugby league was kind to me. It took me around the world. It gave me a great life. So,
how many times did you get knocked out?
Not very often. I had a good teacher how to protect myself, and that bothers me too. I don't think players are taught to protect themselves better because now they go, well, they can't hit me in the head. So you see them running the ball with their down here. Well, I was taught by one Stephen Roach to have the ball there and the forearm there. So protect yourself. And if you don't, you're an idiot because Les Davidson's coming or David Boyle's coming or someone's coming. You need to get your arm up. Okay.
You had a fight with Blocker, didn't you, on a training ground?
Did.
How'd that happen? How'd that come about?
I'd only been at the club a short time.
Was it an initiation process, was it?
Well, we were playing opposed, which I've never been a huge fan of. Both a player and a coach, I didn't like it. But, yes, we were playing opposed anyway. We had this guy from New Zealand and we were playing grab, which again, some people have different versions of grab. Some people it's just a tap, some it's two-hand touch, some it's bang. This bloke was going through and he's putting blokes under the posts. He happened to be in my team and everyone's rolling their eyes and say, mate, seriously, we've got 15 minutes to go. We're going for a few. It was our Christmas breakup. We're going for a drink. What are you doing? And he kept, and so Alan Jones, who had a different understanding of the game, he was like wetting himself, outstanding young man, and this. And,
Outstanding.
And you could just see the eyes rolling. Ciro and Blocker and Brooksy are out ready to kill someone. So they kicked off. And Steve had me at the moment where he said, careful. I said, I don't have to, you have to tell me. I can see what's going to happen here. So the bloke ran up, and the second play, they threw it to me. I'm trying to stay out of the way. So I just jogged up casually and put my hand out to say grab, and he just knocked my hand down and just went whoompa. But he was just, so I just, little red mist started. So anyway, me and him are literally punching on, and I had this moment, I don't know, people talk about out-of-body experiences. I was watching myself getting kicked out of footy forever because here I am fighting at international. He was a club captain at the time. I'm thinking, okay, you've done it this time. But so when it was over, I was so cranky and I just stormed off like a little kid, and he actually ran up to me. He said, mate, it really wasn't you. So you just got in the wrong spot. And I give him another spray and he said, I like you. And we went and had a few beers.
That's probably the best thing that could have happened. Got it done.
Been friends ever since.
Got it done with it early. But you're not afraid of dishing it out too. You copped a 6-week suspension when you're at the Tigers, looking after a mate, Nathan Wood.
Yes, I did.
That's old school stuff.
Yeah, it was.
I think even Wayne Pearce said, I told the players to watch out for Nathan.
Yeah, well, we talked about it. It was, he got a spear tackle by, I can't think of his name now. It was Nathan Wood. It was our bloke. Cameron Blair. That's right.
That's right. And
he speared him, and I was only probably 3 or 4 metres at it. It just, I don't know. Anyway, there's a picture of him somewhere. So I'm walking off, and he stretched it off, and then we made the front page of the Monday paper, Vigilante McVey, which back page I think it was on. So, yeah.
But I mean, back then you were still probably at that age of the game where you do something, be prepared to cop one back.
But it's a cheap shot too. Like he's only tiny, Nathan Wood. Anyway. We actually won that game. We ended up winning, the boys. We ended up winning that game. But, yeah. So I did help myself with the judiciary. We went in and I think Bellew was in charge them days, and he goes, mate, something about it. He said, geez, you didn't miss him. And I foolishly, inexperienced, said, well, I did only hit him once. That didn't help. So 6 week holiday. So, yeah.
At Elk Architecture, we don't just design buildings, we shape the spaces where life happens. From concept to construction, our award-winning architects bring our vision to life with precision, passion, and purpose. Whether it's your dream home or your next big commercial project, trust Elk Architecture to build what matters most. Elk Architecture, designed for life, built for the future.
I don't want to keep staying on the CTE, but Wally Lewis, he's got suspected CTE. You played one game with him on the Gold Coast. What was Wally?
I did.
What was Wally like when he got to the club?
Well,
because you were there the year before, weren't you? You played.
I went up there in the middle of 1990. The draft was starting, and it was a crazy time. So I just went up there and finished the year. Played, and I come on as a reserve against Illawarra, and that was the day I scored a try. That day, game was over and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, then Wally came, and I played with him in the game I got hurt in. But look, I don't really know Wally all that well. I spent a little bit of time with him, but he was unhappy. He was Bennett had punted him, so he wasn't happy, which is I can understand. And he wanted to coach.
You think back, that was a massive decision, wasn't it?
Crazy.
But it proved right.
Oh, he was right. He was finished, Wally.
Yeah.
He was done. So then a guy called Mal Clift, who a lot of people probably don't know, but he was a rugby league genius. He was Warren Ryan's offsider. He came up with left and right, which we play to this day. Left and right centres, left and right halves. I mean, I could sit and bore you the detail what used to happen before he did that. But so Malcliffe constructed all that at Canterbury. He was the man. So yeah,
but it was Bob McCarthy who got you to the club. Is that right?
Yeah, but he did, and he was very kind to me too, Bob. You know,
what was he like? He's a real legend of the game.
Gentle sort of guy.
Yeah,
probably not meant for coaching.
There is that
gentle.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? It is some coaches that do you believe there's some people that are cut out more to be an assistant coach than a first grade coach?
No doubt.
You know,
I think the bloke in town's living proof of that. O'Brien. I think he's perfect for that.
Yep. Trent Barrett
is another one. Yeah, there's quite a few. And that doesn't mean they're not rugby league.
Yep.
Like, they're smart guys. They know their footy.
Taylor.
At some stage, mate, when you've got to stand out the front and go and talk to a bloke and say, you're not with me this week.
Yeah.
They're tough conversations. Yeah. So
you had a knee reconstruction at the at Gold Coast. You've had two, haven't you?
I've had two, yeah.
Same knee?
No, matching.
Well, but you mentioned to me that saved your career.
Oh, without doubt. Yep.
How's that? What, it gave you a bit of time to...
Well, I was fluffing around, you know. I was just a kid, and in 87, I think it was, I picked in a Newcastle under-19 side, which it's funny how you look back at different times. Look at Canberra when they beat the Tigers in 88. Yeah, they beat him in 88.
Yeah,
Canberra beat him in 88. Canberra 89. We look at that Canberra side and you look back now and go, wow, Belcher, Meninga, like they were all on the way up. Yep. Clyde, they were all good players, but they went on to be legends. Well, that Newcastle side, like Ashley Gordon and Paul Harrigan and Winkler and Botham, and we had a fantastic side. So we won, and on the back of that, I got in the country 19 side, and then just had a day out that day. Like Daly and Clyde were playing for City that day.
Yep.
That was the first time country 19s had ever beaten City. So then all of a sudden I'm in the state side. It was funny. That state side, there was two players who weren't playing first grade in the NRL. Rod Snewsmith and me. I was playing third grade for West at that time.
Really?
So it was coming a bit easy.
Yeah. And
then I got the good contract to go to Goldie. And then when I got hurt, January of 1991, I went into hospital and the doctor come. He said, mate, she's over. You're gone. So you've done medial, you've done your cruise shit. Just slice your leg enough. Never play again. And I can't say on this podcast what I said to that.
You can if you want.
So he said, if you're serious about rehabbing this, we're going to do some different surgery on it, and then you can come and live with me, which I did. And he put optic fibre cable in my leg, cut the tendons out completely. And so my legs, even if I sit with my leg bent, I can straighten, I can actually still feel it stretching out. And he said, mate, you can be in a plane crash, you'll be dead, but your leg will be fine. And it's true, I haven't had any trouble with it since. So I spent a year.
So you spent a year out. But so when you spend a year out, how do you attract a club like Balmain to come knocking?
Well, Gold Coast paid me out. Wally took, I was under contract at the Goldie, so I trained all year, full rehab. I never trained harder in my life. And they said, mate, you're done. Went up with piece of money. I think they gave me 8,000 or something. And I had two mates. They said, we're going on a Kentucky tour. Do you want to come? I went, mate, I'm cashed up. Absolutely. Wrote a check. I said, here's the loot. Let's go. And a friend of mine who was tied up with a nice Johnny Lawton, knew him for a long time. He's a good friend of mine. He said, I've got to go to Sydney to pick up a car. Can you come with me? And then so we can drive them both back. And I said, oh, yeah, sure, doing nothing. I was still rehabbing at that stage. It was in about October. They were still in full twice-a-day rehab at that stage. Anyway, driving along and not paying attention. Next time we just pulled into Leichhardt Oval. I thought, is he buying a car off one of these players? Dumbers, still haven't worked it out. Walked in and there was Roach and Ilias and Sheridan sitting in a room with Alan Jones and Keith Barnes.
Wow.
said, mate, he's a contractor. And I said, I can't. I've just bought a ticket to on a Kentucky tour. It cost me $4,000. And then Keith Barnes just wrote a check and said, here's the $4,000. And that was it.
Just staying on the Gold Coast too, there was all that in those early days with the Gold Coast, there was all that talk of the worst thing that could happen is to have a rugby league team near Jupiter's Casino. Was it?
It was, mate, when I first went there, I lived at Greenmount, which was, dollar beers. Sunday dollar beers, Wednesday flat roof. It was just, And then 4 of us decided it was a good idea, and we lived on Chevron Island for 3 months. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to get out of here. It was just, crazy. Like we'd play, because you played in Toy Heads in them days.
Yeah.
The licensed club was 24 hours.
That's right.
So blokes be on the drink. But I remember when I first went there, training on Thursday night, because I flew me up on the Wednesday. I trained Thursday to play Saturday to get there before the draft, before June 30.
Yep.
After training, the bloke handed me 6 beer tickets, and then they brought out these platters of fish and cocktail. I'm like, 6 beers, away you go. That was
how good's the goal?
So I wonder why it didn't work. Like crazy.
But just saying that I suppose that drinking culture, especially in country rugby league as well, it was always alive and well, wasn't it? And it's a case of when you get to that professional stage, you're going, I got to.
Oh,
Was it tough?
There was a good culture there drinking when I was playing.
Yeah.
You talk about country drinking culture. I took over when I coached Cessnock. I honestly didn't think we could do well in '99. I thought we'd have a good year, but we signed a couple of hardheads, Hugerworth and Huddleston. I brought them in. Graham Huddleston, he was the linchpin. And I end up, when I first met him, and I'm getting off track here, but anyway, when I first met him, I knew his brother. He was probably the biggest hitter I've ever played against. I was terrified of his brother. And he was out injured in '98, done his knee. And a few blokes had mentioned him. And I said, I knew his brother, he's wild. And he said, I got it going. So I rung him up, Graham, got his number, rang up. I said, look, mate. He said, no, go away, I'm from Curry, I'm playing for Curry, blah, blah, blah. He got 97 Player of the Year playing for Curry. And I went, right, look, mate, I'm not ringing you about covering assassin. I'm just heard you had a knee on one of them, give you some advice on some rehab. So I used to ring him twice a week on point. How's your rehab going? Went and met him, met his mum, who I already knew. Obviously, brother's sitting in the corner growling at me. I'm thinking, you stay over there. And then Curry, for some reason, weren't reaching out to him. And we'd I just go there for a cup of tea. We'd never once raised about coming to Cessnock. And he kept saying, I'm never going to Cessnock. I said, mate, you're the only one talking about Cessnock, not me, blah, blah, blah. And then one day he said, if I did come to Cessnock, how would that work? And I went, it's funny you should say that. Pulled out a contract out of my back pocket and went, have a think about that. He got more money to play than I did to captain coach that year. But the dominoes fell.
Yeah.
When he signed, it just went like that.
Yeah.
So, he was the pin, and we've been really good friends ever since.
Was it always hard to get, especially like Cessnock and you coach, at Central Charlestown, it's always hard to get probably that little nucleus, that the spine right, and then try and work everything else out. Everything sort of falls into place. But is it a case of having to sort of offer a little bit more little things on the side, or is it especially when you're a little bit further out from obviously Newcastle to allure
biggest thing I did at Cessnock was jobs. I brought Lee Hennessy up from the Tigers and got him a job. Craig Wise, I've got him from Penrith and got him a job at Aristocrat, which he's still at this day.
Yep.
So, I didn't go down the money route. West were light years. Mm-hmm. In 1999, we spent $116,000. Pricey said they spent over $600 that year. And I have no issue with that. I don't believe in dropping the top, bringing the top down. I've been dragging the So we just went, and I had that junior base.
Yeah.
So I had like Kane Bradley, who was real good star. Knights missed a trick with him. I remember the Knights came to me at the end of 99. They said, is there anyone in the local league that you think? I said, listen, you got the world's best halfback, who I think is the best player of all time in Johns. I said, there's a kid at Cessnock. There's another one up there. Here's your guy. Train his tail. Oh, we had him when he was 16 and he was a bit which I really get annoyed about. Like stereotyping kids at 16, it drives me nuts. So they, and believe it or not, the player they signed, the reserve grade halfback from Penrith, I think it was Holbrook. I'm pretty sure it was Holbrook. Now, without being like disrespectful, they had a 9-year-old kid ready to go.
Yeah.
And we had, and they become Kane, Lance Leonard, Jay Clarke, Mark Ling, David Greenup. They just become the core of that club. And for the first time in a long time, someone went, scooped them up, took them all up. Now, I didn't think honestly didn't realise I thought they were good, didn't realise how good. And then you mixed them in with Hennessy and Wise and Huddleston and Ugerworth. And all of a sudden, we were starting to play some good footy. And I used to always say to the players, you just focus on what you can control and let me worry about the rest. Just worry about it. Just worry about you guys. So it's not going to win a comp for 34 years. They did exactly what I asked them to do. The only problem is the thing we couldn't control, and that's the ref. There was another club who had control of that. But that's just another story.
You want to elaborate on that? Was it a brown paper bag job, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, they would have opened up one of their pokies. Who are we talking about? but just what you're talking about too is that in regards to motivation. I mean, was that a big part for you to really get in the players' heads? It's more about mental preparation than what you do on the field. We've practiced through the week, but on the day, it's just trying to get them there in their noggin.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a winning starts on Monday sort of guy. So I used to say to the players, if you actually want to do something on the weekend, let's practice it first. And when we can do it here 10 times in a row without a mistake, then we're happy to bring it in. So I've got that confidence among the players that I do have structure. There's no question about that. And I'm pretty strong on it. But if they want to do something else, happy to hear it. Yep. And don't pretend to know it all. I've got some little plays on my own that I like, but I was always happy to hear it. And the young players at Cessnock thrived under that. Yeah. So they'd come to me and say, Deck, can we do this? And I go, yep. Set it up. And I'm a hat man. I'd have hats running, red hats, this bloke to run, green hats. So everyone knew where to run. And I'd say, right. And we might do that for 45 minutes. I'd send the other players to do something else, and that group that needed to know that, again and again and again and again. And then come the weekend, might take us a month to get ready for that. But once they got ready, then I'd say, right, today's the day.
Does that 99 grand final still haunt you?
I would say haunt it. The disappointing thing for me were the young kids. It was their hometown. They'd worked so hard. I mean, I asked them to do things that I doubt had been done in that town. They were going to string me up when I said they weren't allowed to go to the George Cup. So Dr. George race.
Yeah, I know. I used to go there.
A big day up there.
Oh, it used to be a great
day.
So
I said, first grade of training. And the board went, what are you doing? I said, mate, George Cup's every year. Premiership. By then I thought we were half a chance to do well. Yep. And then when they got there, I had a couple of kilo prawns and a couple of cartons of beer. I said, what are you doing? I said, I just want to know if you're fair income. And I said, we'll train tomorrow night. We sat there, ate the prawns, a few beers. So go out if you want, do what you want. But it was on you. Yeah. And we trained the next day. That was it. So we didn't actually train, but they didn't go to the race.
Beautiful. But we've got some pictures we want to get up. First of all, when I shook your hand this morning.
Let's get that. Give me a second.
That's all right. There's a couple of, there you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's after surgery.
Yeah.
When I was about 40, my body started to go through sort of quite painful change. And I'd been to different surgeons different doctors trying to get diagnosed. That's the hardest part. There's so many different types of arthritis. And I tried a few different drugs which were having no effect. So I got on a drug called prednisone, which I would recommend to anyone listening to this, don't do it. It's not good for you. Makes you bloated, makes you, not good. So I was 40, that's 16 years ago, and I sort of just kept pushing through it, and I was just taking more and more pretty. And my hand started to twist and my legs started to do funny things. And
was it a culmination of footy injuries?
born with it. Could have triggered any time.
Wow.
Yeah. Still don't know. They don't know why it triggered. They don't know why it took so long. That could have happened when I was 6 years old. So, yeah, no one really knew.
Was that the fist that you hit Nathan Wood with?
No, I didn't hit Nathan Wood or Cameron Blair.
Cameron Blair.
I was protected.
That's right.
Don't let Woodsy hear that.
Next pick. Here we go.
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to play against Alf, but again, they were rock stars, and I was just plodding. I was just picking up the program before a game going, yep, that's me. We're playing against all these guys. Football's a family in terms of, and it's hard for me but anyone who plays first grade game, whether it's 150 or 500, it doesn't matter. There's that acknowledgement of how hard it is to get there.
Yeah.
And this little bloke here, another friend of mine, again, we're going back a while, bit of a tangle, but I was doing some work with Parramatta at the time when Brian Smith was coaching, and I was just doing a little bit of technical skill stuff. Not much, but just a little bit. And a guy called Greg Coote, again, good friend of mine, he was good friends with Mickey Neal. That's how I got to know him, and we become friends as well.
Yeah.
And he said to me one day, you reckon you get me a trial at Parramatta? And I said, mate, I can ask. I don't have that much pull there, but I can certainly ask. So I went to Brian Smith and I said, look, I'm not sure if this kid's – my gut feeling said he wasn't going to make it. He'd been a good junior, but and I said, would you be able to give this bloke a trial? And he went, is he a mate of yours? I said, he is. But he said, well, yep. So he did a training trial and he trained right through the summer. And then Brian Smith gave him a first grade trial at Campbelltown, and I was there. He played the first quarter. He walked off and he said, shook me and he said, Dak, I really appreciate it, but I'm just not good enough for this. To our friendship. And then he came up. He was struggling a bit in his life with money and stuff. So he came and lived with me for about 6 months. Up here, I was up in Newcastle. Then he played at Charlestown with the boys.
Yep.
And now he's a millionaire. He runs a betting organisation.
Wow.
So Langer is the ambassador. So we ran a function down there as a fundraiser for the IPG with Matty Dunn. He's a mate of mine. He used to work for me, Matty. He's come a long way. He's gone past me a bit. But and so we raised money for that. And Langer, so I've last 3 or 4 years, we've got to know each other, and he rings me every now and then, terrorises me.
He'd be a good runner for you on the field, one of the best.
Yeah, Andy. Yeah, but he's a character. He's so funny to be around, and I think we're going to do another fundraiser soon for Mickey Neal. So I'll let you know. You can come.
Absolutely.
Bring your drinking shoes with that day.
We will be.
Pretty serious day.
Yeah, mate. But,
I remember the first time we did it, there were blokes at the Nags. We had it at the Nags. I got a lot of friends who drink there, and they're going, don't ever bring him back. My wife's still not talking to me. Blokes were face planting in the gutter outside and everything.
While we talk about the Nags here, it's like the table of knowledge, isn't it?
It is.
It turns out, it doesn't matter what time of the day you're there. There's someone there that you know, and then it's like the Cheers bar, but everyone's got their own little ideologies and.
Yeah, it's fun. Great place to go. Just make sure you've got thick skin and a sense of humour, and you'll fit in good.
And you're not too good at the footy tipping. Was it
terrible? They give me a hard time about that.
Was it one year you ripped your card up halfway through the season?
Yeah, it was about 10 games to go.
You said you had some sort of plan. You had some sort of.
Well, I told them I had the Polish tipping system, but Rex and all the boys, they're just fun, and I wasn't going to win, and I forgot to put him in for a couple of weeks and all that stuff. And then one day I thought, I'm done. And I ripped it up, threw it up, confetti, and then the boys got it and stuck it back together and get back. So it was just fun, yeah.
You mentioned Brian Smith. He's another coach that's very maligned to a lot of people's eyes. I've met him. He's a lovely guy.
Terrific bloke, yeah.
But again, another one where he probably deserved a premiership before he settled.
I think no one deserves one.
No, true.
The mistake mate, and he'll probably admit it. It took him a while. I believe it or not, when I was in England, he coached Bradford. He was you're going to hate me saying this, but he would be the greatest assistant of all time. Right? He would hate that because he is an exceptionally good coach and he's a good head coach.
Yeah.
But he overdoes it. Like, even when I was at Barra, like he's sending players texts at 11 o'clock at night going, look, I just watched a video of you doing this. Like that.
Yeah.
A bloke would be carrying the ball and, you know, they want it a certain way, or some blokes would carry it. If you carried it not perfect, that's where he got to. So I know grand final week when they played the Knights, he just bombarded his team and they were frazzled by the time they got. And he did it in England when we played him in Bradford against Bradford too.
Yeah.
So he didn't trust his players enough. But his knowledge is exceptional.
You find the same with Des Hasler. Very similar in a way. I heard when he was at Canterbury, this is when I was working at Channel 10, someone told me, they said he just did the players' heads in because he had this mythical X in the middle of the field. And every time we got the ball, run towards the mythical X.
Yeah.
So you're centre field, because his theory was the opposing side didn't know which way, left or right. So if we get sort of bogged down on the left or the right, it's obvious where the ball's going to go. So he always wanted to play the ball as close to the centre of field to keep the defensive side in two minds. But it got to the point where it'd be like nearly the fourth or fifth tackle, there'd be an big open gap, and that they'd look towards the gap and go, oh, no, we've got to go back towards because he would absolutely hammer them on the Monday on the video. They'd sit there for 2 hours, 3 hours, video sessions, and it just cooked them.
So another thing about the old video session, you'd watch, we all did it, you'd sit there and watch the game, the whole game, and the coach would stop and start. Whereas now, they tag you, there's programs now, tag Joe Blow, and every time Joe Blow makes a tackle or does something, so it shrinks it into about 5 minutes. But look, at the end of the day, the systems he's talking about, everybody uses them. That mythical X, some people call it 60, some people call it black dot, some people call it an arrow. They're all using the same. The difference with Des is, again, I never played him, I don't know him, but I know blokes who have. You weren't allowed to override that. Whereas at Brisbane, if you watch Bennett ball, you watch South play, I guarantee you they go 60 right, they go to the far upright, right? And look what they come back with. Cody Walker, Latrell Mitchell. Why do you think the wingers scored 200 tries? 80% of them are untouched. Right? Walker to Latrell. Latrell runs the thing. Do they come in? Passes it to the Johnson. If they don't come in, he runs over someone and scores. 60 right, boys. So if you're playing the forwards, 60 right, get me there. Open the field up. We've got all these strike weapons. What's his name? The boy from Canberra, just another one. And then the big, tall, blonde centre. You know, they've got strike weapons all over. So if you're playing forward in the forwards for Bennett, you go, right, if I get to 60, I'm going to roll to that position. I know that they're coming. Same as Brisbane. If you watch Brisbane play when Bennett was there, crash, and then Langer would be waiting with Kevy, with Renoff. All the forwards had to do was lay the line and then open the space. Whereas Desi wanted to control it way past that. Okay, we'll get to the X, and then it's play what you see. And the good players like Langer, he'd be sitting there watching, Lazarus would do it, and then Tallis they'd punch it up while that's unfolding. And if he sees the ball early and says, "Listen, don't worry about that anymore, it's on here," then they just go. Whereas Desi didn't like that. He liked to control every single play.
Yeah, he was a out of the box. I remember he actually turned up to a press conference with a basket full of apples and presented all the journalists.
He does some funny
with an apple, and was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's just Des, go with it. Well, he used to have a thing where he said, I think it was he deliberately tried to not answer a question, and because what he'd do, you'd ask him a question, and he would just go off into another tangent. And then the question that you asked, you couldn't use the answer because he went that fucking far off it. You couldn't get him
His
back.
record suggests, but he had some pretty handy sides as well.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why Brian Smith sits right at the top, somewhere near the top for me. He didn't walk in to win it, and it's team stacked with internationals.
Well, Brian Smith had the task of, remember he came to Newcastle, he more or less had the task of get rid of the deadwood.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
which was going to cause
Especially
dramas.
in a town like this.
Which was going to cause dramas, and then bringing in some outsiders, but again, I actually felt for him in that way.
Oh, he knew. I remember talking to him about it. He said, "I won't be here long." Flush the joint, and then go from there.
Tired of missing out on the best properties? Stop searching, start winning. At Optimum Buyers Agency, we work for you, not the seller. We negotiate harder, we move faster, we find the homes others don't. Off-market deals, smart strategy, real results. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, we make it happen. Optimum Buyers Agency, your edge in a competitive market.
Look at another picture. I think we've got some. This one's a surprising.
Well, that one.
Yeah, look at this. What's going on here?
That's my 3 girls, and that's at George's wedding.
You look so out of place.
Yeah, I do, don't I? I was thinking that myself.
Yeah.
Thinking, who are these people? So, yeah, the girls are getting ready for. That was George's wedding day. So the one on my left, she's already married. She's got a little grandbaby now, and George is actually due in March. So I've got 2 grandkids that are going to be 6 months apart.
Any favourites out of the 3?
Very fortunate, mate. They're all different in their own way,
Yeah.
and they're all very special to me.
Yep. Next, I think we got a. You're a netball dad.
I was a netball dad this year, believe it or not, first time in 22 years.
Isn't that
be
the
a netball.
shittiest time when it pisses down?
That was in Gosford at the state championships, and it was fair flogging.
Do you give much of an opinion on netball like you did rugby league? Just a few bad calls.
Not so much bad calls. No, a big thing for me was with my girls was just talking about this position. We spent a lot of time when they were little just catching and throwing and getting their body in good position. Body's in good position, the rest flows. So, but we talk a lot about it. We still do. Yeah, dinner time with the McVeys is pretty intense, and everyone's got an opinion. So don't come there. I know when the boyfriends, who are now husbands, first started coming, they're like, wow, what's going on here?
Well, my next question was, what was the first meeting with the boyfriends like? Yeah, they'd be like, holy shit.
No, they all got the same chat.
Yeah.
Yep. And I remember when the youngest one brought the young bloke home, and he got the chat. Well, he's a bit he's been an overthinker, young Harrison, but he's a nice young fella. And he went to the other 2. Well, they started laughing, going, "Yeah, mate, we've had that." So it's mate, because the girls will come and tell me stuff, right? They have an argument or something's happened, they'll tell me most stuff, and I'm a bit of a tomorrow you'll be lovey-dovey, so I tend to just absorb that and go, yeah, right, you'll be right. I'm sure he's sorry for whatever he's done and not paying a lot of attention. The only rule is don't put hands on. Mm-hmm. And the quote is, people go missing all the time. Don't put hands on.
Mm-hmm. Did any of them come up to you and say, can I ask your daughter's hand in marriage?
They both did.
Wow.
Both the oldest boys did.
They sweating bullets?
Oh, I'd known them pretty well by then. So they knew, But it was nice. It was a nice thing for them.
I thought you would have played with them.
No. Well, I was pretty excited about it. They're good. They'd been with them quite a while, so I'm really happy that.
Got another picture. I think you're on a hovercraft.
That's another netty. That's when they played in different teams.
Oh,
George was south, Ellie was at the junction at the stage.
So you're barracking for one in the first
on the
half,
fence.
one in the
I both played A grade, so I was on the fence them days.
Just on netball, I remember my grandfather, my sister played, and he used to come down to national park courts. He got banned from national park for a year because he was a soccer man, and he always used to, foul you bugger.
Yeah, you can't yell out.
And it was, mate, they said this game isn't going ahead until you get on Union Street. I think there was what's this one?
Well, that's where we were in Florida, and that was me and Josh. We went to the Everglades to see the crocs. So, that was the boat we were on. So he was a terrific young bloke. Him and I are really good friends and really good friends.
What was his name?
Josh Bell, his name is.
And you see any Crocs?
Yeah, they were everywhere.
So anyone have bad games? Like we're going for a ride on the hill. We're going on the hovercraft this afternoon.
It was funny. Yeah, we and him had a really good time over there.
Was it more of a holiday?
Yeah. But we also got a lot out of the footy. By the time we left, they were literally begging us to stay. You got to stay. I said, I can't afford to stay.
Was there another team in America?
No, I saw that. The Washington.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know where that came from.
Okay.
So, not me.
Another one, I think.
That's my girl, Pinky. And her family's from Inverell. Mm-hmm. So a couple of years ago, I think it was last year or the year before, I can't remember. So we said, we'll go on to Inverell. And Inverell races on New Year's Day. And she's a mad South girl. And behind her, that horse, believe it or not, is called Away Goes the Bunny.
Perfect. What's in a name?
The silks are matching too, I think.
I can't think of the bloke who trains is also a South man. I can't think of his name. Joe Pride, I think that's his. But that's the Inverell. Yeah, Away Goes the Bunny, and it won. So I said, get out there. I'll take a photo of you.
It's funny. We recently had Rick McCosker on, and he's from Inverell.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. And we spent 4 or 5 days there, and her family, her dad and mum, all they lived there. So, yeah, it was good. We had a good time. Had a great time at the Calcutta.
If Inverell called you up and said, we need a rugby league coach?
A bit far. I've got grandchildren now. So, no.
I tell you what, when I was at Tamworth for NBN, we used to cover, I can't remember what group it was. So it wasn't the Tamworth group. There was another one that was further at the Inverell sort of area. And tell you what, there was some rough and ready games. There was some all-in brawls it was almost like every Monday, like we get a cameraman to go up there and shoot the whole game. Every Monday, someone from the rugby league, the general manager would ring up and go, have you got the tape to that one? And it wasn't about what was on the field. It was about what was happening off the field.
Yeah. But, no. We saw their team. We saw some photos and stuff, and obviously sometimes they have gap years where they don't have enough. But it's a rugby league town. Yeah, it's good.
Just you worked in pubs for quite a while.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, what do you love about doing that?
Oh, it's just the people you meet. Like I say, Matt Dunn now, he's a professor, but he used to work. He played rugby at uni, so I had a year at rugby with him when I was 39. Anyway.
Well, big prop?
No. They had a falling out with their sponsors. So I was at the commie, so we sponsored them, University Rugby.
Yeah.
And a mate of mine was their coach, like a hog. The brothers, one's at Newcastle Uni, the other one's at Copper.
Yep.
And they were looking for a sponsor, and they said, "Oh, we'll come to have Mad Monday at your pub." And I said, "Yeah, right. So as long as you behave." So I think I had a bit of tolerance, but yeah, behave. Well, they were like church mouse. And I thought, there's something going on here. This is not right. They're just sitting around. It was like burning church. I think, what's going on here? So I pulled him aside. I said, Oggy, what's going on? This is not Mad Monday. He goes, they're going to ask you to sponsor them. I said, yeah, how much do they want? He told me. I said, yeah, right. So once they realised the sponsorship was in place, then it started turning into a proper Mad Monday, right? Got a bit rowdy and stuff, which was fine.
They took the tweed jackets off with the leather patches.
So I just kept him in the front bar there, the commie. It was different to what it is now, and they had a great night. They were there till all hours, and they were giving me a hard time, like, oh, fat pale bloke and all this stuff, which, again, Blake's son, geez, they're giving you a hard time. I said, listen, mate, it doesn't matter. They're right. I'm old and I'm retired. And, well, then someone must have whispered in someone's ear and said, you do realise this bloke played a little bit when he was younger. Well, they, of course, Google, and some kid come up with the idea, we should get him to play. And I said, mate, I'm 38, nearly 39, no. And I made some stupid comment like, I have no boots. I threw them away.
Oh, someone's got...
So next thing they ran a raffle and bought me a pair of boots. So then I said, look, I'm too old to be a game I've never played. I said, people are going to start telling me what to do. I said, that's not really for me. So they made me captain coach of their second grade side. So, of course, me being me, I got my own way. I'm not playing the way they're supposed to play. So we started playing shift the ball at all costs. You weren't allowed to pick and drive and, that means you had to pick it up and you had to move it.
You're playing campo rugby.
Yeah. Well, we're 0-5. And the board, in you come. I said, look, mate, can't keep doing this. Like, we weren't getting flogged, but we're 0-5. And they go, something got to give. I said, we can't keep doing this. So I said, right. He said, you need to get back to playing a bit more traditional rugby and stuff. So I said, yeah, that's fair enough. We've tried it my way. I actually thought we were getting close. So they're getting close to getting this, right? So I went back to the players on that was on the Monday night. Tuesday night, they named the sides. We pulled my butt. I said, look, we're going to have to go back and play a bit of traditional rugby. The board, like hell, we're no way in the world. We've got it. And I said, well, guess what? If we don't win this week, I'm going to get it. The bullet's coming. It's coming. Well, we won 13 in a row.
Oh, wow.
So we started smashing teams like 40s and 50s. So we were just moving the ball side to side. And in rugby, as soon as that ball goes past, they just all instinctively run to the ball.
Yeah.
So as soon as that bloke got tackled, none of the other blokes would just pick it up and pass it back. I had front rowers scoring in the corner and doing all sorts of stuff.
But how did you keep, when you're playing, you're coaching a second grade team?
I was player coach. Yeah.
But I mean, how do you keep a team together? Because when the reserves are going good, the first graders are going anyway.
Well, first grade were going good too. They were going good, and the whole club was pretty strong that year. Yeah. We made the prelim final that year.
Yeah.
And Merriweather were just light years ahead.
Yeah.
They beat us easy. Wanderers beat us 23-21 in the prelim, and then Merriweather smashed them.
Wow.
And our boys, first grade, got beaten in the prelim as well. But the first grade blokes were going, so much fun to watch because they were inch by inch rugby, whereas we had front rowers scoring tries in the corner and all sorts.
Did they ask you to stay?
No. That was the experiment was over. And I was done. I didn't want to play.
Well, tell us about that. You played one game, did you say? Did you play one game?
One season.
Oh, one season. So you didn't actually play a game
of rugby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played coach.
Oh, okay. So so what?
5'8" I played.
You played 5'8"?
Yeah, just catch pass. I had all these uni kids, mate, running like reindeer everywhere. We'd have a scrum, and we had this scrum, right? They're all tiny little uni kids, right? Yeah. Playing these monsters. So our scrum was just getting demolished. So I started to win them over, and a guy called Toddy Pete, terrific fella, he said, mate, he was playing fourth grade at the time, what they call breakfast rugby.
Yeah.
He said, mate, you're a bit light. You need to get a couple of front rowers in there to fix that scrum. And I went, yeah, right. Ooh. And he goes, Marty, I played for West.
Louisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a real journeyman.
But his father, front row, like this side. Said, Marty, all you do is hold the scrum. He says, I do it.
Yep.
That was about all we said to each other for the year. I do it.
I actually played. I had 2 seasons playing rugby union. One was with Tech. Well, it used to be called Tech College, and they amalgamated with Port Hunter, so it's called Tech Port. And we played at the Tech College, and I played 1 year with Marty, and he was just for the size of him. And first grade, you'd play him at 5'8". And he was just so mobile for the size of him. And he went on, to play for, I think, Singleton. They got him a contract. They ended up getting him a job in the mines, and that's what got him up there. But just someone that, if he put his mind to, could have.
But he was playing rugby on the Saturday league on the Sunday.
That's right.
Like, he was just, So him. And then this other guy came. So I had 2 front rowers who couldn't break out of a walk, and they just went the scrum. And the rest were just runners. And then me, just catch pass. Like, I played a whole season. I got to the last game and someone said, you're the only one who hasn't scored a try. I said, I'm not running. So they got me like close to the line. Someone gave it to me. I took 2 steps and put it down. But that was just catch pass. Yeah.
I thought you would have liked the contested scrums because.
No way.
Well, just staying on that with rugby league, I mean, scrum's a bit of a farce now. Well, it is a farce, isn't it?
Oh, it's a restart. Everyone who says, let's go back to scrums, go and watch a video of 1982 and see what they look like.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
back when you were wearing shin pads.
You know what used to... My grandmother gave me 2 copies of Reader's Digest to tape in my socks because I didn't have shin pads.
Wow.
Reader's Digest, use them as shinnies. Yeah, crazy.
You talk about your grandmother a lot. Did she raise you?
Pretty much. Yeah, a bit of history. Yeah, she was amazing. And I quite often, not every now and then, but very often think of her, but also think, my God, where would I have been? She's about the only one that could handle me back in the day when I was a young fella.
What happened with your parents?
I was about 6, I think, somewhere around there. And my mother was a bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever you want to call it. And she would disappear for chunks of time. Funny enough, as a young man, as even as a kid growing up, I don't know why, but I just understood it or accepted it or whatever, I don't know. Like she'd disappear for 3 months, 6 months and come back. Things like that was bizarre. I remember one time she disappeared for 2 years, come back married to someone that no one had ever heard of. And so she was obviously had different personalities and stuff. But she was harmless. She wasn't,
Yeah.
And my dad was just a single guy doing his best. You know, I mean, I'm close with my dad.
Yeah.
But the grandmother did the legwork, raising me as a young kid.
So was your grandmother pushed you into league or your dad? Or
Dad was, look, the best example I give my father, I was growing up, like everybody knew him. He was like the unofficial Lord Mayor of Cardiff. I remember one Friday night I was playing with the Tigers on Friday night footy, and I came back to Cardiff and caught up with 4 or 5 of my friends, which is having a drink in them days. There was no recovery in them days. Friday night, you're right, yeah, see you Monday.
Yeah.
And then we come up for a drink, and these blokes who are his age come up to me and said, son, if you were ever half as good as your dad, you would have been Andy Pyer. So that's, can't.
Did he play for Cardiff as well?
That's all.
Yep.
Never left.
Wow.
Plenty chased him, but, you know, we've talked about it. He said, mate, you know, you were back then, I was earning half decent money at Cardiff. I had a good job there, and I was getting a bit on the side, whereas the money wasn't in the football like it was as it is going forward. So, but him and I were always close. He rarely missed a game.
Yeah.
He was always there. So
Balmain snap you up. Alan Jones, you mentioned, you know, you're in the walk into the room and there's Blocker and there's Benny and all that. I mean, what do you think of Alan?
I don't think much. It's all I can tell you. He's not one of mine. I don't like the way he treated people. I don't like seeing him do terrible things to people.
The mind games?
Mind games. He'd destroy you if you. Yeah, I've seen him do it. So.
And as a coach, I mean, obviously he's come from a rugby union background.
He didn't even really come from a rugby union background, mate. He coached Manly to a premiership. He had such a profile. Coached Australia. But you listen, Dick Farr-Jones and that, they're telling you the same.
Grand Slam. But, yeah, I know what you're saying.
But they're not telling – you listen to the way they talk about him as a person. As a rugby league coach, he had no idea.
Like what would a typical training session be like with Alan?
Oh, Benny was running it. But he's just a nasty human. That's all I can tell you. He's just not a good person.
Did you have many run-ins with him?
Not really. I had one disagreement, I suppose. Played South at the cricket ground, and it was the Channel 9 match of the day, and I actually, the one and only MMI player of the day, man of the match, whatever they used to call it, and he stood up at Balmain Leagues Club and literally said, I can't believe Channel 9 voted Derek McVey the player of the day. So I never said anything at the club, but when I went to train and I went and nosed him and said, if you ever say anything like that, say what you like to me to my face, but if you ever do that again, I said, mate, you won't have to worry about ever talking on radio again. So,
I mean,
no fan of his.
Did he play favourites?
Very much. Yeah.
I mean, because again, that team there, you know, the nucleus, obviously Ilias, Roach, Sirenin. I mean, you sort of mentioned that Benny was running it. Was that the sort of thing where he was just the face Alan, was
Alan
the face.
hated the fact that Benny ran it. He hated it because no one listened to him. Like Alan Jones would say something before a game and then he'd leave the room and then Benny would say, get in here, forget that crap, we're doing this.
Well, actually, we got Benny sent a. I think we go.
G'day, Derek. It's Benny Ilias here, mate. Hope you're well. Mate, I wish you all the best with Caney and co. He's an absolute legend, and, mate, Derek McVey, you are one of the larrikins of the rugby league world, and it's a great pleasure to recognise and give you a thumbs up. God bless you, mate. Stay healthy. Happy 2026.
Yeah, he was good to me. To be fair, they all were. Like the internationals were all good. I never felt like out of place in their company. If we were going somewhere, they'd always, after they were going to places that the average people can't go to, they'd always say, come on, we're going and stuff.
But when you got to Balmain, that was a pretty good pack. Yeah, did you expect to be that sort of person that's sort of in and out, trying,
Mate,
getting your chance?
When I first went there, I was just happy to play.
Yeah.
Firstly, so I broke my foot in 80 at the end of 88. So 89, I only played half a year. And then in 90, I had the breakthrough, and then 91, I missed again. So I hadn't played a lot of footy.
Yeah.
So I was just going there wanting to play.
One thing I noticed, I looked at a lot of the games that you played in, and it was like when you were left out, you had a lot of win columns. When you got back in, you'd go on a bit of a run, and all of a sudden someone else would come back in. Yeah. It's almost like
a fair side.
Yeah.
We had, you think Blocker, Roach and Steve Edmund played in grand final. Ben, Ciro, Mark Guy came. Marty Masella, pretty inside. I was just happy to be there. I learned a lot, and then Blocker retired. His knee wasn't real good.
Yeah,
I mean, in 92, I could have went to South. They offered me 40,000 South.
Who was coach then?
George Pickens was coach. They offered me 40 grand. Lump sum. There it is. And
good money then.
You're not kidding. I was on 35 working. And that's when we went to the Tigers, and they offered me 20,000, and they offered me 2,000 a game to play. So I had to play 11 first grade games to earn the same amount of money.
Yep.
And I still went to the Tigers, and I played 13 in that year. And I got to be honest, when I first started, I was like, my God, I'm never going to be able to handle this. I can't keep up. Game's so fast, I'm just not up to it. And I just started to get my feet, and there was 3 games to go. And funny enough, Blocker pulled me aside. He said, I'm just letting you know, mate, it's not up. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do this, but I'm coming back from injury to finish my career. I'm going to play the last 3 games. And I said, mate, I appreciate you telling me that. So then I went back into reserve grade, and they were nowhere, the reserve grade. I actually went back with 4 to go. He played the last 4. Played 3. He played 2, missed 1, and then he played his last game at North Sydney. Yeah. So I played the last 4 in reserve grade. And Pete Duff was the coach, and he come to me, Pete, loved him, most intense guy. He goes, Deck, he said, Dad, we win all 4, we'll make the 5. And I'm like, my season's over. I've had it. Physically exhausted. Trained my tail off. Coming back, I'm just thinking, this get me through the last 4. We're on $200 a game, paid reserve grade. I think, get me out of here. We didn't win 4 in a row. We won 8 in a row. I made the grand final.
The grand final, yeah. And I think North Sydney beat you.
Killed us. They were a good side. But Duff, Deck, if we win 1 more. And I was like gutted. So I was going to train and not doing anything because I was carrying a knock myself. Old Duff. And then on grand final, because then he started, we used to do what we used to call lung burners on Thursdays. I'm like, Duff, we need a break, man. 400s Thursday night before Saturday game and all this sort of stuff. And we just kept winning. And we beat Newcastle that year. We just kept winning. I think we won about 8 in a row.
Yeah. Just staying on running and Mark Guy, you mentioned him. Were you there at the infamous Bay run where
we're all there.
Mark guy had cheated, where he got in a cab. Like Alan Jones was at the finish line or wherever, and you finished. He gets in a cab, turns up, gets out.
You're not the only one who's done that. That's happened plenty of times.
But it got him offside, didn't it? Like it put him offside with Alan right from the get-go.
Oh, actually, that's not quite. That's the only bit of that story that's not true. In Gay, Alan loved him. Like he come to Balmain, he was out of shape. Like he's way out of shape.
It was a this Bay run, 13 Ks.
Oh, savage. Not as bad as Coogee. Coogee was worse. But when MG came, he had the run in and with Phil Gould at Penrith and left. Then he come out of shape, right? And somehow Alan Jones got him in the city side. Everyone's going, kid, no. He's just out of nick and that. And then he was late. Remember, he was late. I think that was at Penrith. I can't remember now if he was at Penrith, but he was late. And even Gould had the run in, and then that's when he come to the Tigers. But then he just had this on switch, trained like it. Never seen anybody train as hard.
Yeah.
But what Junior coach said, and he couldn't understand Junior. Junior couldn't process the fact that he would train like no one else for a month, and then he needed that little window. It was like the Rodman. Just needed a day or two off to go and
do whatever you want.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But Junior couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So Junior actually got rid of him, and he came up and played at Erina, much to Paul Kent's. He fixed him up there. But
just with Junior as a coach, what were your thoughts on him?
Look,
was he too close to the players, the group retiring? He was still too close to that.
Junior just didn't get it. I love Junior. I'm friends with him. His wife. I used to nurse Mitchell. He's virtually the same age, a little bit older than my Giorgio, but he's similar. But Junior used to. He had the theory if everyone made 30 tackles and 20 runs, we'd win. He couldn't understand that it's not how it works.
Yeah.
So he would flog you just flogged everybody to the point where everyone was just gassed. Like if you drop the ball on the weekend, he'd make you do 200 metres or drop the ball at training, do 20 push-ups and all this sort of stuff. So people were frightened to do anything in case you made a mistake. So we had blokes in the game doing nothing because they didn't want to make an error.
Did he make you bake your own bread like he did back in the day?
He just didn't understand footy. Yeah. He didn't understand it as a coach because it worked for him. He thought it worked for everyone, and it's just not how it works, you know. So he thought if everyone was fit and everyone did 30 tackles and 20 runs, we'd win. Well, yeah.
This isn't just a gym. It's where limits get broken. A place where community comes together, sweat turns into strength, and every drop is progress. No excuses, no egos, just results. Join Fitstop Newcastle today, a start to a better you.
'92. Friday night football in Newcastle. You're running out with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Here is a bit of the start of it.
Well, I was even in good nick then. Look at me.
17,000. Typical Newcastle crowd rate. Should be a great match.
But before that game, the biggest rainstorm hit the tip. You've never seen rain like it.
Comes out towards his own 22 line. Met in the first tackle of the night.
Good players and some good players. Newcastle were very good side at that time.
What was it? What was the feeling like? You're a Cardiff boy. You come back and you're playing on Newcastle's home turf. Mixed emotions.
Yeah, a little. I guess. Even now, I want to see Newcastle do well. I'm always cheering for them, hoping they do okay.
I think he gets sent to the bin in this game.
I did go to the bin that day.
I think was it. Here we go.
There wasn't much in it, but here we go.
Rodwell, a short ball away now from the lane.
I think I stole the ball here. I might have just knocked it out of his hand.
The Newcastle side, and here's a penalty. And he's in the
not
centre.
bad.
It's McVey, who's been sent for 10 to the bin for stealing the ball.
Cheated there.
The kick is a presentation for Newcastle.
Yes, well, Greg McCallum's had enough. Too many indiscretions in the play the ball area. McVey just rips it clean out. And he's put his hands on his head, and so he should.
But we had a good record against Newcastle.
Roachy defends you here. He's on the commentary team here. Listen to this.
Points here, and that's just not good enough.
Steve Roach.
Well, that's the first time I've ever seen anyone sent to the sin bin for a discretion in a ruck.
You're not happy, Steve?
No, not really, mate. You know, we like the 13 players on the field. But
There's the great Laurie Nichols. One of the great blokes. Yeah. Anyway, we got the better of them. We played them at Leichhardt. It was my first game back from suspension after the 6-weeker. I think it must have been in 90. I can't think now. 94, whatever. 94 it must have been. And we beat him at Leichhardt too after the bell. Marty Moore born to score. We led comfortably, and then Newcastle were going to run us down. Johns was playing Sargent, they were all playing. And then I think they got to the front, and then with about a minute to go, something like that, we just passed the ball. Next time we raced downfield, scored, and the bell went, and that was it. We won. So, that was. So we actually, because we had a pack of forwards that could match anyone.
Yeah.
We're always, you were
going to be in it or close to it.
You think about it, you had Ed, myself, Marty Marcella, Steve, Paul Sirenan, Geyer. We weren't taking too many backward steps from any one of them days. John Ilias was part of the group.
Well, we're going to get on to Johnny Ilias very soon here.
But the best Newcastle story I've got was in... is it 90? It must have been in 90. Yeah, 92 pre-season. We played the Knights in New Zealand. So we go over, and obviously that was my first grade. I played a trial here, but it was like just a numpty trial. And Newcastle was a couple of weeks before the comp, so everybody's taken their biggest and their best. So Newcastle, Sargent, Harrigan, David Boyd, Mullane, the lock, Glanville. So we had myself, Blocker was playing, Benny, Ciro, Geyer. So it must have been 93.
Yep.
So, and it was, trials are funny, they can be okay, and then all of a sudden someone gets a smack in the ear and it all sort of starts. So we come to a scrum and someone had caught one. Paul Harrigan said, I'm going to point at someone, said, I'm going to kill you. And obviously I knew Chief, we grew up together, so it wasn't me. He's giving it to someone. It came as you like. Old MG poked his head through from the background. He said, listen here, mate. He said, I'm going to kill you, eat your children. Went on and on and on what he was going to do to him. And then there was this silence. Bill Harrigan said, okay, we done? Back to scrum, the game went on. Thought, okay. So then at the end, we stayed overnight. The next day, we're waiting to check out in New Zealand into the international. There's an air package bag handler strike on. See? Can't get home. Plane can't land, can't unpack the plane, rah, rah, rah. Alan Jones was coaching, so he's like, I got to get back to work. So we stayed that night, Sunday no playing, Monday, it's filthy Jones, he needs to get back for his radio show. So anyway, he's on the phone to Keating, he was the Prime Minister. Going, mate, we'll land. And Keating's going, mate, I've got no say in. He's going, mate, we're in the room as he's talking to him. Going, mate, we're landing today or you're finished as Prime Minister, I'll get you. Sure enough. So when we get to the airport, we check out, the Knights put all on the plane. Alan Jones stands up and says, the players will unpack the plane. Well, Newcastle. I'm sitting there like this hiding thinking there's no way in the world Dave Morley is going to let these break the picket line. No way in the world. Yeah. So I'm thinking, you might be Alan Jones, but these blokes will fight you before they'll let that happen. So sure enough, we land. One international plane landed in Australia that day. We were on it. And the executives all come with coats and ties and they unloaded the plane.
Wow.
Morley's going, there's no way in the world this plane's getting unloaded by players. No way. But one plane, there was Alan Jones who had the power. Prime Minister's thinking, I need him on my side, I don't want him against me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All come about from a trial game in New Zealand.
Fair bit happened that day. Yeah.
With fair bit happens when John Ilias is around.
Johnny, one of the good guys, terrific fella.
But he's a notorious figure, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's unreal. Good mate of mine, real good friend of mine.
What's the best John Ilias story you've got?
Mate, how long you got? When I was a kid, first went down there and he turns up. Next thing you know, there's a huddle of players over in a corner somewhere, and he goes, "Come over here, mate. We'll get you suited up." And I'm thinking, what's he talking about? Open up, he had this van, all these suits and stuff. Try that on. Like, cheap, mate. We'll sell them cheap, blah, blah, blah. So we all did the suit. So we decked out. So he had connections on the wharf because I was working on the wharf at that stage, doing a little bit. So they used to call it group text. So they'd open up the container and shoes. Next day he'd turn up with 200 pair of Nikes if you wanted to buy them, or suits, whatever else. And
no wonder he was a good friend.
Good mate. Like he was. I tell you what, if you're going to war, he's a bloke you want next year. He's a solid, good fella.
But I mean, he was involved, with suspected shootings, match fixing, drug and firearms offences.
Well, you remember Mick Beattie played with St George?
Yep.
He was on the Balmain coaching staff, right? So he's there. So again, if I did hear it straight from the horse's mouth, you wouldn't believe it. Mick Beattie's brother is the big dog in Long Bay.
Wow.
Crim.
Yep.
Runs it, apparently.
Yep.
So Mick Beattie goes to visit him and he goes, "Look, man, I'm going to be in here a while. There's a stack of guns, bulletproof vests, all this stuff. Sell it." So Mick Beattie's clean skin going, how do I sell that? Who do I sell it to? Johnny. Goes to Johnny. "Yeah, mate, I know a bloke." Well, next thing you know, they're on the 6 o'clock news. There they are. Boom. Selling stuff. So Mick Beattie, they went to court and Alan Jones was coach at the time. Well, he's pulled a few strings and got him off. Well, he couldn't get Beattie off. He had to get them all. So Johnny got off. So Mick Beattie went quietly, got the sack at Balmain, lost his job at 2GB, the lot, just disappeared. Not Johnny. He's out there. I'm Al Capone. They'll never get me. There'll be footage somewhere. He's out the front of the court going, "They'll never get me." Mate, Johnny, what are you doing? They got him all right. 2 years later, they got him. He spent a bit of time, and him and Ray Yernan, he shot Ray Yernan, who was our major sponsor, by the way. They were SPing. I run the bookie, and the bloke everyone knew was the carpet guy. Everyone knew him. He was a massive punter. He owed him $80,000, apparently. So the 80,000. So Johnny went to him and said, "Listen, if you give me 40, give me 40. We'll tell him we've settled the account for 30, and I'll keep 10." Well, the bloke said, "It's too late. Ray's beat you to it. I'll give him 35 and the same sort of deal," right? So they've met trying to rip each other off, and that's when he shot him, pulled the old sword off and boom, said, "It's self-defence," and the judge, because quite a few of us went to the court to support him. He's got buckshot all on his Ray Yerns, got buckshot. Lucky he missed him, buckshot all over him. And
it just sounds like, for John Ilias, rugby league was just a distraction, really.
But he trained hard, like he's dedicated.
He was a good player.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yep.
But, mate, some of the things he took me places that the average person wouldn't get to see. And like I laugh when they opened the casino in Sydney. There were 50 casinos in Sydney. They were everywhere. Little coffee shops. You'd walk through a window curtain. Johnny going, "In here, boys." Walk in, there's free roulette tables and a blackjack table or whatever you want. So he showed me things that were,
man.
Yeah.
We got to get John Ilias on this.
Oh, mate, he's the guy you want. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Just staying on Balmain, I mean, they're going through a bit of turbulence at the moment, just with everything, at the top. Is it disappointing for you? I mean, the amalgamation, it worked early. It seems like there's still this bloody split.
Amalgamation didn't work. They didn't want. West at the time were broke, but building. Whereas Balmain, then they got it, like Triggerboff said, lock the Leagues Club down, we'll build a club and all that sort of stuff. And what people don't realise is Super League went to Balmain in the thing and said, "If you come to us, we'll rebuild Leichhardt Oval, you'll always be the Balmain Tigers. Never merge, never die." And Coop Bun said no. So when they merged, they took the money, and it's never been a happy marriage.
Yeah.
Never been. And there's no cure for it except time.
Because when you were there, they turned into the Sydney Tigers, which a lot of the clubs were doing. I think the Bulldogs did the same thing, the Roosters, that thing. But again, can Balmain stand alone?
No, they can't. And look, at the end of the day, again, it drives me insane. They built the Centre of Excellence at Concord.
Mm.
Why? Your future's at Campbelltown, right? To me, they should be called the Campbelltown Tigers.
Yeah.
But the West won't have it. And now their club at Ashfield's booming, so they're writing the check. People don't understand that. The money's coming from West Ashfield. That's why they want to keep it in the city. So they just want to do what Northern Eagles did, right? Delete the franchise and just be Westpac.
Yes. Yep.
They don't care about Campbelltown. They don't care about any of that. And they've got the money to fund it. Don't worry about that. Yep. West Ashfield can fund it. They're like West up here. They can fund it. But for Landys is going, no, we're not giving away Campbelltown. So the West Tigers franchise is never going to dissolve. Either like it or sell it. Get out yourselves. So,
St Helens, what a time to be alive for Derek McVey.
It was.
Turned up at Johnny on the spot.
Essentially, yeah. More good luck than good management, but hey. Yeah.
Was it just a connection to get you over there? Was it McRae?
Yeah, Sean was coach. I didn't know him. End of 95, I was probably as good as I could be as a player, and I knew that.
At the time, did you say that Brian Smith was coaching Bradford? Did he? He
was coaching Bradford. Yeah, no. I never spoke to him. I knew Hugh McGann. He left the Roosters, and he was coaching with Dean Bell at Leeds. So I rang him and just said, "Look, you got to." He says, "Mate, too late. We've filled up our roster because you import rules, so you could only have so many imports." So anyway, he said, "Look, I know Sean McRae at St Helens is looking for one. Do you know him?" I said, "I don't." So I rung them. Just rung them out of the blue, rung that office. And the girl said, "Oh, they're out training at the moment." I said, "That's all right, just get him to call me." And about 2 hours later, the phone rang, and it wasn't St Helens, it was Hull FC. It was their chairman. He goes, "Oh, lad, where are you going to come?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about it." And I said to him, I asked him a question, "Are you in First Division?" And he said, "Yes." Right? I said, righto. And then we started talking like things I was going to need, obviously somewhere to live and that sort of stuff. And I said, "Look, I've put a call into St Helens. You ring me back this time tomorrow night." He goes, "Yep, righto." And I said, "We can firm up an offer that way. That gives you a chance to have a think. Now I'm keen to come, and because I'd always wanted to play. I don't know why. I just had a dream to play there. So I really wanted to go." And then Sean McRae rang, and he said about it. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Look, I'll be brutally honest with you. I have spoken to Hull, and I promised them last say. So I want that out there." He goes, let me ask you this." Okay, go on. He said, "Did he tell you they're in First Division?" I said, "Yeah, I did ask him that." And he goes, "He didn't lie to you, but over here it's Super League, First Division.
Subs to Second Division, yeah."
And I went, okay. So they made an offer which I thought was fair, really good, accommodation, car, et cetera, et cetera.
What was the lure to go over there from after the Balmain? You didn't want to stay in Sydney, or was it?
Well, Super League started, Super League started in 96. And I'd signed with Super League, signed a 4-year deal. And Balmain at the time, I was still contracted to Balmain, but they said, "Look, we'll release you." And
so that deal that you signed? Who signed that with you? Who was the person that was
Michael O'Connor? Yep. It was funny. We were sitting in a room not dissimilar to one we're in right now, and my dad and Johnny Lort were there. We're just sitting there. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and he wrote a number down on a sheet of paper and wrote ×3 next to it. And I'm not quite. I was being well looked after at Balmain at the time. So when I looked down, I don't know if it was looking at my face. I'm not sure. He never said a word. He's dragged it back, crossed it out, and wrote another number times 4. So where do I sign that? And that was how that happened.
Wow.
That's how quick it happened.
So you signed the contract, but then you got to find a club.
You just signed a work contract with News at the time. It was a News Limited contract. Mm-hmm. Yeah, still got it at home somewhere, buried somewhere.
So I find that sort of strange because not strange, obviously it happened, but most players were already at a club when they signed.
Well, essentially, the answer to that question is yes, but realistically, no. They'd all just signed work contracts with News, so they could have been moved anywhere. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to upset the apple cart, but they could have if they wanted to. And they essentially did it when they brought the Rams and Perth in. They moved blokes there and said, you're going there. And they sweetened it up a bit, but they did move them. Mm. So anyway, so I went to Sean and they made me the offer. So I rung News and they said, if you've got a contract in England, go for your life because they're now Super League 2. That hasn't been announced. About 3 days later, we had a big do at the town hall in Sydney, and Rupert Murdoch got on the stage and said, first of all, I guarantee you every cent of your contract, and second of all, we now own New Zealand, England, blah, 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 owned them all, bought them all, France, the lot.
Wow.
So Australia, the ARL was essentially isolated. Mm-hmm. He bought the lot. So, because this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, all this is going on, and then Hull rang me at 3:30. I knew he was ringing, and I said, look, mate, Again, I don't want to bullshit you around, but I haven't agreed at St Helens, but I don't think I can come there. And he said, McRae told you we're in first division, didn't he? I said, yeah, he did. He said, fair enough. He said, but I'll promise me if you ever decide to leave there to ring me. I said, mate, 100%, I will. You've been pretty straight with me.
Yeah.
And then my wife got up in the morning. I slept on the lounge. She got up about whatever time, and I said, how'd you feel about going to England? She said, yeah, it'll be okay. I said, good, because we're going to Canberra tomorrow to get me work passport, work visa.
And away you went.
Within 10 days we were there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like, I mean, you went over there, you won the championship on the back half of the competition, and then the next year you're at Wembley Stadium, Challenge Cup final, defending the Challenge Cup, which is always the hardest thing to do, to defend anything. With that, Chris Joint, he was a teammate of yours.
Legend, yeah.
He's a bloody good player, wasn't he? He played for the Knights, I think, a couple of years earlier, but just the complete player, wasn't he?
Look, he was unreal. He was a leader of men, and he was very fit and looked after himself. Hated a drink. Got to be careful around him. He was a silent assassin. He was one of the blokes who just kept buying and putting them in front of you, and look, and all of a sudden you're 2 behind. He could drink better than anyone, but he was a terrific player. Yeah, fantastic player.
Because also at the time, Wigan were very strong as well, weren't they?
Well, they were the ones we knocked off.
Yeah.
The thing about it, in '96, to me, that was the year for me. Like we played 22 games, we won 20, we never lost at home, we were champions, and we played Wigan on Good Friday, so I'd only been in the country about 10 days. We beat them. The town changed. To beat Wigan was like, we talk about South and East rivalry. That's nowhere near what it is over there. It's just insane.
Yeah.
They'll burn your house down if they know where you live. So then we won, I think we won 14 in a row. And then we lost to Wigan at Wigan. The away thing's a big thing over there. Like from St Helens to Wigan's, like from Cardiff to Warners Bay. It's just extraordinary what it means to them.
Yeah.
And then Bradford beat us at their place. So we lost 2 away games. And then, because we'd already beaten Wigan, and then Bradford beat Wigan as well. So we're neck and neck. And they had better for and against. So we'd win, they'd win.
Yeah.
And then London Broncos. I was working for the BBC on the sideline. Ray French was a really good friend of mine, lived in St Helens, Saints mad. So when he'd call a game, I used to sometimes go and sit on the sideline. And the Wigan were playing London at Central Park. It was close, but London were a good side them days. They had Terry Madison,
absolutely,
and Tony Ray. They were a good side. Anyway, on the bell, London scored in the corner to make it 22-20. So they've gone to a break. Ray French said, we're off here, mate. What do you think about the kick? But I don't know if I can say this, but anyway, I said, if he kicks this, so I'm going to run on the field and pull his pants down and get it done. Well, Ray French lost his mind laughing. So when they've come back, he can't stop laughing. Sure enough, he toe poked it. Over it went. So we won the last 6, so did they. We went them by 1. So we were 40 points, they were 39. Wow. History was made.
Yeah.
34 years.
I got a feeling that you enjoyed that time probably more, your footy more than any time. Would that be right?
Well, I had a good coach. I learned a lot from Sean. And my role, remember I talked to you before about if you play at South, if you get to a certain point on the field, the back line will do the...
Yeah.
That's where I learned it from Sean. He was big on it. He learned that from Sheens about getting in position and letting the backs do their thing.
Yep.
And we had a amazing back line. Goulding, Tommy Martin, Paul Newlove, Alan Hart, Prescott. Well, we had exceptional back line.
Yeah.
So we used to just run over the top of Wigan and that smash them in the fourth and the boys would get it done. But I was in good nick. 95 was my best year here. I just carried that into there.
Yeah.
So that was my little window peak as far as playing goes.
You guys played a game, might have been a championship decider where you fell short in, but then you had to jump on a plane and fly to Brisbane for the World Club Challenge. A one-night stopover in Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, that's the owner, who's the current owner, that's why we stopped there. Eamon McManus. He was a big business guy in Hong Kong. We stopped there for 3 days. We lost the premiership final to Wigan.
Yes.
We lost the premiership final and then we got smashed there. We'd been on the drink for a week.
But I tell you what, though, that Brisbane side.
Oh, red hot.
You know.
Yeah, they were a gun side. Yeah. Yeah, all the superstars were playing, Lazo and all them.
Well, didn't you? Brad Thorne, Tallis, Seven Receiver off the bench.
Lockyer. Oh, they had an amazing team, yeah.
But, I mean, when this was happening, I bring up Rick McCosker again from the other week. You know, Super League was sort of just in its formative years, ARL, the split. Did you guys think that would take over?
No. There's always ever going to be. Well, people don't forget, they carry on about Super League, only lasted 1 year. One season was gone. And that, people, again, I get a little annoyed with the way people talked about Super League and that. It was just World Series cricket in reverse. That's all it was. Rupert Murdoch wanted a product. Pay TV came to Australia. And, again, Ken Arthurson and John Quayle were very good administrators, but people forget he gave the rights to the NRL to Kerry Packer's Optus Vision for free. Good decision. And Murdoch went to him and said, hang on a flash, I'll give you $50 million for it. And they said, it's too late. And of course, Packer's going, mate, I've got a deal here. So Murdoch said, well, I'll start my own comp. And it started off, I don't know if it was real. I don't know if they really meant it until Packer said, I dare you. Well, that was enough. That's when the checkbook came out, the way they went.
Yeah. Just staying on that Brisbane side, this is the old chestnut. The two comps were split in half. Would Newcastle have beaten Brisbane that year?
I say who cares? They were both great sides. Newcastle won the comp. Good for the game. I think Newcastle winning the comp almost saved it because what that did was it just created this wave when they got back together. The answer is who won it the next year?
Mate, Derek McVey sitting on the fence. I can't believe it. But the Hunter Mariners.
Yeah.
You could you have played for them?
I was in England doing my thing.
Would have been a perfect comeback.
No, I wouldn't have swapped what I did in England. I had a chance to come to the Knights when David Waite was coach.
That was a question I was going to ask. Is that a regret that you never played for the Knights?
It is. I just wasn't ready. signed for the Knights in 88 as a kid. I just didn't handle it. That's why I went to the Gold Coast and got hurt. It woke me up. I have great respect for Newcastle. They had one hell of a pack of forwards too. Sargent, Harrigan, David Boyd, Lane, Glanville. You know, they were as good as any forward back in the game.
Yeah.
I look back and just think, how lucky I was. The kid from Cardiff somehow went halfway around the world and brought a trophy home and did all that crazy stuff, which I never ever dreamed of. So, regrets, I don't have many of them.
Well, mate, we've got a footy card. I love me footy cards.
Oh, dear.
Right. Where are you? There you go. But I want to look at the back. What's it say on the back? Right. Derek is a mobile and creative second rower who has shown some touches of outstanding class, although often less than consistent in his play. He is one of the Tigers' chief strike weapons in the pack. It sums up you nicely.
What it was, it's funny, when I read that, I wasn't real happy. I've got to be honest. When I first read it.
About the less than consistent bit?
I didn't like but then I was sitting with, the bloke who woke me up to it was actually Brian Smith. In England, we were sitting around talking one day, and he said, and I didn't really know him all that well, and we were talking, he goes, oh, mate, when you were at the Tigers, we were always circling you and left carry, right fend, and all those things. And then that was him to a T, right? Look, you know, I was a left carry, right fend, and we got talking, he said, you're a bit stiff, you, because the inconsistency was you trying to create shit the others couldn't. And I knew it. And I watch blokes play footy now and I think, God, if you just go up, get tackled, play the ball, keep picking you. Whereas I was thinking, how am I going to win? I'm prepared to push a pass, and sometimes it didn't go good. And that's why I really excelled in England, because I didn't have to do that. I was well coached. I was in a good side. If I crashed the line and didn't pass it didn't matter. Whereas if I didn't create, we didn't really have, so I was prepared to take the risk. But history says if I'd have just shut myself down a bit, that would never have been written. So it's true. Don't get me wrong, it's true. But when you read it, it doesn't I'm not real happy with it, but that's life.
Just finally, how many coaching gigs you got left in you?
I think I'm just about done. You
were coaching up at Bundaberg, weren't you? That
bloody Langer's fault. He got me stuck up there. So, I had some great times in Bundaberg. I met some fantastic people, and I met a bloke in up there who, funny enough, from Adelaide. We've become good friends. He actually owns a share in this, the Brightside, this shirt I'm wearing, and we've become good friends. We've got a horse together. But yeah, Bundaberg they've got two massive clubs up there, Brothers and Waves are their next level. Yeah. And then I was at this little club, and the players then decided, we don't want to do this. And I said, look, mate, I'm not here to fight you. So, it was tough. And the owner was a terrific bloke, and I met the farmer. Mate, I've met some great people up there. So I'm catching up with them this year at Magic Round, going to catch up. So no bridges were burned there, but and Lang used to ring me, teasing me because we weren't winning. But it was good. Look, it's all part of the journey for me. I was hoping to go there and try and build their junior program, but they didn't want that. So I said, look, it's fine. Had fun, great time. See you later. And still friends with the owner. Still talk to him from time to time. So,
if you could sum up your career in one word, what would it be?
I think from inside looking out, I lived the dream. Probably the dream. It was definitely a dream for me, and I was lucky enough to do it. I'm sure from outside looking in, plenty of tick the box lucky. But I used to say to blokes said, how do you get picked in first grade? You're so lucky. And I used to go, shh, don't tell anyone. Don't say it loud enough so the selectors can hear you.
Derek McVey, thanks for sharing that dream and coming on Incredible Lives.
Pleasure, mate. It's been fun.
Thank
you.